Hello and welcome back to
Confused.
So are we.
We're quite confused, aren't we, Toby?
We're especially confused. Well, we're confused every week, aren't we?
He's Toby and he's confused.
That's Greg and he's confused.
We're confused together.
Yes.
And so you listening apparently confused because you keep sending us questions, which is great, by the way.
And in
Thank
our
you.
infinite wisdom, we answer absolutely everything. We know all the answers.
That is a total lie, isn't it? We've got less of a clue than you probably, but no, we will discuss.
We will discuss
the random questions that you send to us. So first question, start on something a bit lighter.
Yeah, let's get straight into it.
Toby, you can eat 3 packets of crisps before they become extinct. Hang on, all crisps become extinct.
You are the only one that has been given the opportunity to have 3 more packets of crisps, and then they are disappearing.
And you only have one day in which to choose. Okay, so you get to pick the last 3 bags of crisps you will ever eat. What are those 3 flavours?
I've got 2. So far I'm ahead.
Okay.
I've got Thai sweet chili sensations, the Walkers.
Oh, that's one of mine. Well done.
I think that would be my final hurrah. That'll be my
it's
last
got the black
one.
packet, right? Walker Sensations.
Black packet.
Other crisps are available.
Then Skips.
Really?
I grew up on Skips,
like
and I
Skips,
rediscovered them in the last month. They are
rediscovered Skips.
They are the least filling thing ever. It is basically a pack of air.
I don't disagree with that. Sorry, I was banging the
but
microphone
they taste
sorry.
fantastic.
Yeah, Skips. No, I love a Skip. It's a bit of a surprise. Like when you ask people their favourite bag of crisps, I mean, Skips will rarely be an answer, but they're good. I mean, What's your third? You've got something light and kind of airy and prawn flavour. You've got something pretty dense and spicy and fancy. My phone's vibrating through the table, which the mic's attached to. So if you're hearing me banging the microphone and my phone vibrating, I'm really sorry.
Oh, I do not know. I've got it.
Go on, mate.
Tube of Pringles.
Oh, it's not food.
No, it's not. But
it's not
tastes
food,
good.
mate. It's so bad.
Yeah, but this is my last ever time. It doesn't matter.
Regurgitated chemical.
Or maybe some Monster Munch. I don't know. Either or.
All right. What flavour Pringles then?
Salt and vinegar.
Oh, okay. It's pretty standard, yeah. Yeah, cool. I think it's something really wacky there.
Yeah. Enlighten us.
I've had this conversation with young people before about favourite flavours of crisps. What's really interesting is, I don't think, in memory, I'm going to shock everyone listening, I don't think I've ever not enjoyed a crisp I've eaten.
Really?
There is no flavour that I don't like at all. Like, name something really weird crisp flavour I quite like it.
Yeah.
I've never turned my nose up at crisps. I've been too full to eat crisps, but I've never said I'm not eating that because of the flavour. Seriously.
I'm not a big fan of cheese and onion or sour cream.
Sour cream and onion, I mean, Pringles. Actually, I can caveat what I've just said. I don't think Pringles are real crisps because they're not actually slices of potato. They're regurgitated MSG as far as I'm aware. They're not even food.
And
so,
if it was the last chance I got to eat them, I still would.
I mean, people have them on the table. I may eat one. I'm just, I just don't consider it food. It's just pure calories.
The experience of them, for that final,
getting your fist in the tube.
But then I also want to brag and say, "Oh, he's the special one. He got to eat the last 3 packets.
I
got the last Pringle,
dude." So there's no crisp I won't eat.
Okay.
There might be some out there. Though actually, in real life, I have never turned down a crisp unless I was full. But my 3 top flavours to choose. Oh, it's so hard. There was limited edition for a while, vanilla flavoured Monster Munch. Had a picture of a monster on the beach with an ice cream cone, and they were only out for like 6 months, and they are so good. They kind of sold out. They stopped making them because they weren't super popular. But then the last bags were going on eBay for like £50 for a packet because they were just never going to be made again. You know, so they were well good.
Okay.
Do you know if you go to M&S, other shops are available, and there's the party mix? There's like a waffle one, like a tube one, like a flower-shaped one, and you can get like jalapeno and chive flavour.
No idea.
Right, it's a big bag of crisps you have at a party in a big bottle.
Okay.
And they're all different, like, I'll get a photo in a minute.
Are they like mini cheddars in texture? Or am I?
Nah, man.
Okay.
Really not. I'll tell you what, I think it's called MS like Party Mix. I will show you the mix.
Okay.
Basically, each crisp is quite a different shape.
Yeah.
And they do a jalapeno and cheese one, which is like proper good. My other one, Walkers, I think it was Walkers, did quite an extreme flavour one, and the packets are quite like bright and explosive. And they did a hot wings crinkle cut walkers, I think, and they were quite. They were all like they were kind of the pictures of chilies in the front. They were like
hot
super
wings.
spicy.
Yeah,
so hot wings. Truth is, though, mate, you produce any crisps, I'll give them a go.
Okay, fair enough.
That's my unique skill, I think.
Yeah.
Toby has got 3 items of ASMR
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm
joy.
doing this now because I want a sip of the Coke. I've got 3 things for our ASMR segment this week.
Okay, I'll do what's it called? The commentating on these amazing items. So for those who aren't watching, item 1 of 3 for your ASMR enjoyment, I'll stop talking in a
2
sec.
Velcro.
Is Velcro straps being pulled apart?
Hold on, I need to take the wind cover off.
Ooh, the wind green thing.
Okay.
You listening?
Silence, please.
I mean, from here, it just sounds like you pulling a Velcro thing apart, but close up to the mic.
This afterwards.
I'm looking forward to hearing that through big headphones.
Okay.
Next one is a roll of J cloth, and Toby's going to tear one of the cloths off. Quite quiet. We'll see how that pans out.
Yeah. And then the good old faithful.
Oh, we've done this one before, but here you go. Here's a can for your enjoyment. Oh, you had 3 distinct sounds. You had the crack,
and then
the
bubbles.
fizz, and the bubbles, and the pop. Yeah. You smashed that. That was a good ASMR for can. I
Enjoyed that.
Church kitchen's still quite cold, so the canners were bringing out and noticed it was particularly cold, even though it was just out on the work surface. So yeah.
Okay, we'll jump back in. Next question, Greg. If
Question
you
2.
could live in any capital city for 1 month, which would you choose and why?
Really hard. Love travelling. Just going to say, I haven't travelled loads in my life, but I do love travelling. I mean, first, I'm going to get 2 answers, I'm sorry. Somewhere I've been before, I'm going to go to Phnom Penh in
Should
Cambodia.
we both do that? Somewhere we've been before,
Yeah,
and we'd like to go again.
That's
and
totally
then,
fair.
Okay.
I'll do one, you do one, I'll do one. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So first one's Phnom Penh, which is the capital of Cambodia. So we lived there for a year, and we visited before that as well. And then we've got a lot of friends there, and we adore the country of Cambodia. Beautiful country. Atitau Aoi Kampuchea. We do love that country. All the people there. Culture's amazing. The church is beginning to boom. Just the most welcoming and beautiful culture. Very chill. Great food. Better weather. Everywhere on a moped. What a joy. And I'd visit all of our favourite sites, but the main reason I'd be going, mate, visit old friends.
Yeah.
Catch up, eat some rice, head down by the river. You?
I would go very similar. I'm going to go to Bangkok.
Cool.
Thailand.
Both of us hit Southeast Asia there.
Yeah.
What were you doing there for the month?
Everything again. I was there for 3 weeks.
Was it not long enough?
Not long. I'd spend a year there. It was incredible.
Lots to explore.
Loads to explore. You get lost, and it is phenomenal.
The thing I really liked about Bangkok was the shift between big city. It looks a bit like New York with the trains and the highways and the business and the giant shopping malls.
And then you go down one alleyway and you're back into the 1200s.
Little temple, 12 stilted houses on the outskirts. Such a cool city.
It is amazing.
A place I've never been before, and I really want to go. Rome. There's so much good food, so much history, and those two things combined, that is hot. Dude, what I'd really like to do is stay in an apartment or a hotel, right, with a rooftop pool. So what you're doing is during the day you're wandering around, you're getting all hot and sticky, enjoying the city, but you're all covered in city dirt at the end of the day.
And then
hit
for
the
me,
pool at the end of
and
the
then
night.
A little balcony to look over the square and whatever.
The piazza. Yeah, man. Well up for that. You? Place you haven't been, city you haven't been to?
I'm going to do the same. I'll go for Rome. I just think to go and have proper pizza summer day.
I knew pizza was the answer.
Yeah. Wander around the architecture. Yeah. Should we go to Rome together, Greg?
Ooh, that sounds like a date. Exciting. Sorry, Aaron. Sorry, Jane. We're gonna go. Boys trip. All right. Question, Tobes. Where did you first see or encounter God? Ooh. In a real way, I guess. Tricky one.
I've got an answer. My answer is going to be Kairos Youth Camp.
Okay.
So, I growing up in the church, my dad being the minister and all, never really connected with God. I came here, so we were moving here in the September.
What year?
I was about to go into year 11.
Yeah, mate.
Moving here in the September, and over the summer, the youth team here invited me to come on the youth camp to get to know everyone. I went once, I connected with everyone crazily well, and I came back and just wow. Like, you experienced God. Like,
what was the moment of encounter at Kairos itself?
Was worship was so loud, incredible. Like, they were going for it, and I went to go and ask for prayer.
Okay, at the end of the service, yeah.
I didn't know his name. He didn't know my name, and I didn't hear his prayer. Like, we were sat there, he was praying over me, but I didn't hear his prayer. And just that prayer changed my life. Like, to sit there and feel the Holy Spirit over me from a prayer I couldn't even hear. And then a couple months later, after I got baptized.
Amazing. So just so people listening, if you haven't heard of Kairos, August bank holiday every year. It's held near South Otterington in North Yorkshire. It's a little youth camp run, kind of around about like the 200 to 300 people mark. A lot of local youth groups from the North East and North Yorkshire go along. You are so welcome. You got to book in. You can't book on your own, young people. You've got to book in through your youth leader. So your group, your church, or your youth group need to book in, and you go as part of the group, kind of thing.
And if you're part of our youth group and want to book in and haven't, come talk to us.
Yeah, come have a chat if you've never been before. Absolutely. Funnily enough, kairos, Toby, is a Greek word meaning the right and opportune moment, like a key moment.
Exactly.
God moment.
Right,
so you had one.
Moment.
There you go. You're the poster boy for kairos, dude.
Absolutely.
So my
Greg, where did you first see and encounter?
it's a good one. I was in a church choir for years. So age 8 to 13, I was in a church choir, and I went to church twice on a Sunday. I'd sing in 2 services. Nice. Often be there for weekends, for a lot of weddings, sometimes funerals too. Learn to sing. I'm not any good at singing anymore, so it's a skill I've forgotten.
I was going to say, can we have a rendition?
No, my voice broke. I was in like the tenor bit, the adults bit for a bit, and when I was 13, I think, as a child I could sing. As an adult now, I'm not really there. Anyway, but I sat through a lot of church services. It was a very traditional church, and I think I was just too busy mucking on my mates, to be honest. I didn't really have a lot of I didn't pay enough attention to what was happening in the service, really. And some of the songs they picked, because it was old choral music, organ, that kind of music. For me, it does for some people. It really didn't switch me on and connect me with God. But being part of that led me to, do you want to get confirmed? When people get 13, they normally get confirmed, which is kind of like an Anglican, like teenage baptism, I guess.
Yeah, okay.
It follows on from childhood christening, and you get confirmed, and the bishop prays over you, which is interesting. But during the prep for that confirmation, sorry, did I say confirmation? Yeah, I was confirmed. For confirmation, I got to do a class, and we met the trainee vicar, was called the curate, lovely guy, and we opened the Bible for the first time. I ended up at a youth group, a Red Cross hut that was run by the church, like kind of an outreach group, like Project Life, kind of like open group. And then that led me on to another youth group, which is like the church youth group. There were 60 people there, 60.
Wow.
A lot of people. Very, very cool. And went on a youth camp with them, and youth camp again. And for me, I've been hearing about this Jesus character for years in church choir, but when it actually came to the time of an evening service, I heard a really good sermon at this youth camp. All my mates were there. Great worship. And then they showed a video of Jesus of Nazareth, which is an old film, but it's kind of a story of Jesus' life. And they showed the crucifixion scene, and the whole sermon was about Jesus died for you personally. Now, the difference being, I'd always heard in the sermons in church, Jesus died for everybody in the world, died for their sins, died for humankind. He died to save the human race, which I understood in my head. I hadn't then connected that to my heart and gone, Jesus died for Greg. Now I get it. Right, it's a personal thing, not just a generic save the world thing. Because so in that moment, it really touched my heart. I really realised that he'd done this specifically with me in mind, along with every other human. But that made it personal, and him wanting to start a relationship with me then, and not just a religion, but a relationship. That's when the penny dropped for me. That was my real encounter with God. Got prayed for, same as you, and years of learning to be a better disciple.
I'm going to throw another question into the mix, actually.
Sure.
Why do we think youth camps are so beneficial?
Oh, great question. Do you think you have a thought on that? Do you know what for you
Well, I had no why it was beneficial, because I came to Christ more than ever before. So in that sense, beneficial for me personally. But why generally do people
youth camps?
I think like Kairos, it's for me, it was the worship that did it. Like the surrounded by all your mates or people you've just made friends with, worship incredible, then you go and get in a giant Zorb ball and throw someone off a field or something. So in that sense, I think they are. But why do we have encounters at youth groups like youth camps?
Yeah. The reason that as youth workers we put a lot of effort into youth camps, even from a long time ago when I was a young person, the reason it was such an important thing and still is such an important thing, I think is a few factors to it, but one of them is retreat. Retreat is a God-given thing. It's a spiritual discipline. You'll notice after Jesus is baptized, he goes on a spiritual retreat, 40 days and fasts, and he's in the desert on his own, just quality time with him and God does amazing and very challenging things with him. The devil comes in and tempts him, and then after that retreat, he's ready for ministry.
Yeah.
So what's interesting is, like, if you think about our young people, they are getting away from pressures, relationships and dating, family pressures,
because
homework.
for that weekend, no matter
stress,
what's going on, you're just there.
You're retreating from the world, and you can put all your attention into something else. In this case, quality time with God, and that's when you give God quality time, He responds to your faith by giving back to you and connecting with you.
You saying that has made me more excited for my job over the summer.
I'm
working for 2 months at Spring Harvest.
Spring Harvest holidays in France. Do check it out in the Vendée.
Absolutely. So I'm going to be helping out there. And just, I think you've made it finally click that people are going to retreat, and for 2 months I'm going to be able to help young people encounter God. How
encounter God in retreat.
That?
Because of the static, the noise, the feedback, the background noise of our lives distracts us, because it's really hard. For me, for example, sometimes I find it hard to do my Bible study in the kitchen at home at the table. I can do it, but the dishes, mate, are there. Do you know what I mean? Like, my phone's charging and it pings. All the normal distractions of everyday life get in the way. Whereas if I'm at Kairos in a field, away from all the normal stuff, okay, I've got to think about, like, not getting wet in my tent and stuff, but like taking yourself out of a situation to give yourself some clear headspace really helps you connect with God. So I think that's why people respond. So
there you go. That was my random question.
That's good. It's really important for us to think about, and also
just as, like, we're talking about 2 youth groups here. We're talking about Kairos, and I'm talking about Spring Harvest. But please talk to your youth leader. Talk to whoever you are near. Get involved with whatever youth group is nearby. Whether that's I don't know what, like, there'll be camps down south or in Scotland.
You could be in Ipswich or Scotland.
Yeah, absolutely.
We definitely have a listener in Ipswich. We have one in Chester, which is really exciting.
Really cool.
Isn't that cool? Random. So wherever you are, get involved with your church youth group. And if your church hasn't got one,
and as an
why.
adult, find time to retreat as well.
However it looks, get away from your norm and give God that quality time.
Yeah.
Toby, last one, and quite a tricky one. If everyone is equal, this is one that came out of the hat, right? Hat question. If everyone is equal, why aren't LGB people able to marry? That's a really tricky one.
I think this needs a preface of, we aren't giving you answers here. We're discussing, we are talking from our own experience, we are from church experience, whatever. This isn't an answer, this is just what we know now, and if anything we say or you feel uncomfortable about this topic anyway, talk to a trusted adult.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And message us, talk to one of your trusted adults, make sense of this question. And also, you can ask like 10 different Christians, you'll get 10 different answers. Like, it's a very tricky topic, and I don't think a lot of people are a lot of people disagree on this. It's a really hard question, so we have no idea and no answer, but we can say what we think. First of all, if everyone is equal, why aren't LGB people able to marry? Well, the truth is they are.
Yeah. So in 2013, it was made legal in the UK. Yeah. Or was it England? Either or. But it is now legal in the UK.
To get married if you're lesbian, gay or bisexual.
It is also punishable by death in some countries.
Yeah.
So the world two extremes.
The world is divided on this. Yeah.
Acceptance, and you are able to marry in kind of civil courts in the UK.
If you're a same-sex couple. Yeah.
But obviously in other countries it's much harder. But if we kind of if we talk about we'll talk about the UK specifically
for now, because we have to narrow it down.
So you are legally able to marry
in a civil kind of ceremony.
Yes. Yeah. So I think what this question is probably getting at is church.
Sure. That makes sense.
Are LGB people able to marry at church? That's the interesting bit.
Depends on the church.
Yeah.
Each individual church and each denomination will have, hopefully, made up their minds about whether they're going to be happy or not to marry people who are same-sex attracted.
Yeah.
So there you go. That's not an answer, but that's a pretty clear, find out
Yeah,
from your local
absolutely.
church. But I guess the question's really, Toby, the question here is why aren't some churches happy to do marriage for LGBT people?
Yeah.
I had a Bible passage.
We do have a Bible passage.
And this might be a bit of a clue as to some of the issues around this topic. It's Matthew 19, is it 4 to 6 I asked for?
Yeah, 4 to 6.
All right, here we go.
Here we go. Drum roll, please.
Drum roll.
Oh, sorry. First, this Bible, waterproof Bible.
It's a waterproof Bible.
This is really cool.
You can drop that in a lake, and you have to dry it out with a towel or whatever. But it's not very good actually because it's printed on plastic. That can't be good, can it?
That's true. No.
But I got it because I was doing a lot of camping at the time. Someone bought it for me, and so I had it out.
That's quite nice.
In rain and did Bible study. It's
Okay,
so good.
sorry. Haven't you read scriptures? Jesus said. They record that from the beginning God made them male and female, and He said. This explains why a man leaves his father and mother and is joined to his wife, and the two are united into one. Since they are no longer two but one, let no one split apart what God has joined together.
So we take this as Jesus' understanding of what marriage is. He's referring back to Genesis, by the way, about what happens with Adam and Eve. The two are becoming one. You'll read about that in unity. Genesis chapter 2, I think. So that's Jesus referring to the Bible's kind of understanding of what marriage, the definition of marriage is. One man, one woman together forever in relationship with each other. That's what the definition of marriage is. So to say, why can't same-sex attracted people get married? Well, in a biblical sense, I mean, forget, I can't talk about the UK legal civil definition of what marriage is. From a biblical definition, two men or two women getting married doesn't fit with that biblical understanding of the just the definition of what marriage is. So that's really complicated,
and that's where it is complicated. It is so because the Bible
controversial.
There was some stuff that in a modern day I wouldn't replicate some of the stuff in here when we talk about some stuff in the Old Testament.
Like punishing by death and stuff like that. And,
like for lying to your parents, it's punishable by death, whatever. But what you can't just go, I don't believe one thing in here, so I don't believe the whole thing. No, because the Bible's the Word of God, and it's absolutely incredible. And it's the closest thing we can get to actually hearing and reading about the Lord. But
His will for our lives.
At the same time, how do we judge it? How do we go, I think this thing we really shouldn't do. We shouldn't punish people by death. But at the same time, but then what about this thing? And that's where it's up to your church and your congregation on how they decide to stand on it.
So I'd say, absolutely right. It's down to each individual church and each individual believer. So really what I've said there about the passage is when Jesus refers to a biblical understanding of the definition of marriage, that's the definition of marriage within that context. So they didn't have an awful lot of homosexuality, bisexuality to contend with when we're talking Old Testament times, and a lot of the homosexuality and bisexuality within Old Testament context is often to do with, and this is we can't go into this today, is often to do with shrine prostitution. So there's some level of sexual contact that happened in the ancient world that was around temples and worshipping other gods or spirits. So that's to be avoided because it's breaking commandment 1 and 2. And then also you might find a lot of it within kind of abusive or slave master relationships, which is obviously evil because it's exploiting people. So in that context, a lot of the Old Testament can be, not a lot, that's not fair, a couple of references in the Old Testament are homosexuality, bisexuality is bad because in those specific contexts, rape, shrine prostitution, slavery, in those contexts, that kind of sexuality was bad. But I don't think, and this is where different Christians have different opinions. Some Christians, I've heard it said, have an understanding that those Old Testament references are only about abusive homosexual relationships, not loving lifelong monogamous ones. And that's where you'd get churches saying, yeah, we'd marry same-sex couples because it seems to be lifelong, loving, peer-to-peer, not abusive, and it's monogamous. It's just them for the rest of their lives. And so in that context, some churches would understand their interpretation of those words would be that it would be okay to marry a same-sex couple. Yeah. Now, you and I can have the same conversation about creation, whether it's 7 days or 7 time periods.
So much up to both personal judgment, personal teaching.
Totally. And your interpretation. And as Protestants, mate, we are, like, part of being Protestant is your understanding, your connection personally with God, your understanding from the Bible as you're reading it in your language. That's what being Protestant's all about. So, and each of us are going to have different opinions, and that's part of the gig.
Talk to your pastor, talk to your youth pastor.
Yeah. Talk to parentals, talk to trusted kind of adult friends.
And all sorts. Please talk to them, because we aren't the source of all knowledge.
And mate, there's going to be so many answers out there to this one. Some churches do support same-sex marriage and some don't. And I could say both. This is really crazy now, right? I could say both of those decisions could be right, because you could interpret what the Bible says in both ways. So I'm not going to look at people who do.
Yes.
do. I'm not going to look at churches that do.
You can tell he's got kids.
I'm not going to look at churches that do same-sex marriage and those that don't and tell either of them that they're wrong. Because actually, if you read the Bible from a different point of view, you could come to both conclusions. So I haven't got the right to say you're wrong or you're wrong. Actually, if your conscience is clear that you've read it and understood it in that way, you gotta run with that. I'd say, which is a hard thing.
Yeah,
it's a complicated thing.
Yeah.
That Christians with different opinions could be right at the same time. That's crazy. But I think that is the way it is.
Yeah, no. I think acceptance of both different views and different understandings is always the most important thing.
So I just say, actually Jesus' commandment to love your neighbour is way more important than being like right about this whole marriage question. So actually loving people first is your first. Absolutely. Loving God and loving people is your first commandment, really. All this other stuff is just a secondary issue.
Yeah.
Not a major issue.
No. Well, we are getting towards the end, but
there's a
have
flyer.
To talk about.
Look
I have been doing some
in-show
psychological advertising. This flyer is for a youth event called Amplify. If you are a youth 11 to 18 in our area, please do come along. There's free boba tea. Quizzes. Our American mission team are here for a week, and they are helping with this.
Football cage from the Message Trust.
Football cage. It's a huge thing. You play football in.
It's going to be
amazing.
Fun. Give them the date, dude.
Oh, yeah. 18th of March.
6:30.
Doors open at 6:15. So come along, get your drinks and stuff. And then it starts.
Bring your friends along.
Bring your friends along. We have many seats to fill.
Yeah, you are most welcome. It'll be a lot of good fun.
Absolutely. But I think that draws us to a close this week.
Mate, good questions. Interesting questions. I'm now thinking about what kind of crisps I want tomorrow for my lunch. We have been very confused.
So have you.